Okay. After I graduated high school in 1972, I went on to college, but I didn't do a very good job in college and I had to drop out. And one weekend, my buddies that had joined the Navy beforehand had come home on leave, and so I was talking with them. They were telling me about how they were enjoying the Navy. So when I dropped out of college, I decided I was going to join the Navy and do my thing and serve the country. Well, I joined the Navy in December of '72, and I went to Great Lakes, Illinois for boot camp, and up there it was 55 below zero, so it was really cold up there. We stood out in line and ate powdered eggs for breakfast, and that was really fun. Typical breakfast for boot camp recruits. But we got through it here after about 8 weeks, and then they moved me on to a training center in Bainbridge, Maryland.
United States Air Force. I was a crew chief working on fighter jets. I worked on the F-111s, F-4s, and T-36.
March of 1953. I served 20 years and a couple of months. I retired in June of '73, and I served in Korea. I was in Korea for 18 months, in '53 to '55. I served 2 tours of Vietnam. I went in Vietnam with the 25th Division. I was in the field artillery in Vietnam. I was on the ground on my first tour, and on the second tour I was in base camp all the time because I was Chief Computer Battalion Fire Direction Center. I control all the fire for our battalion.
The 8th, the American liberation happened. On our part of the Philippines, it was the Oregon National Guard, the 41st Division. And since they did not have complete knowledge of the islands, they asked my 5 brothers to help them in mopping up, in getting the Japanese soldiers to surrender, to give up, because they all ran into the hills. And that's where I got involved in the military. At that time, I was only 14 years old. And my 4 brothers and I, at the time when the U.S. Army left our island to go into training for the invasion of Japan, the company commander, James Gray, awarded us the CIB, Combat Infantryman's Badge, which is what I'm wearing now. About 3 years ago, I got a letter from the American Legion that says you have been nominated and accepted as a member of the Legion. And I wrote back, I said, it can't be. I was never in the military, and besides, I was underage. And so they read me the rules. It says anybody that helped, particularly behind the lines, is qualified to be a member. And that was one of the proudest things, I believe. That
Okay, you wanted to know how we helped the military, the civilians. We gave them most of our food. We helped them with the guarding of the roads and the seas, because the Japanese had, what happened was the military had destroyed all the bridges. And so the Japanese couldn't come to us by land. They had to come by sea. So the civilians helped by watching as coast watchers. When there's a boat coming, they blow the horn, everybody evacuates. They are Japanese. And then we also notify the military that they are coming. Mostly ours was a support. We provided them with what they needed, because we were civilians. I didn't meet him until after the war.
I was commissioned out of UC Davis as a second lieutenant in 1970, June of 1970. I was a commissioned officer, so I was a aviator, pilot, and a tanker. So I had armor units and aviation units, tank helicopters, and cavalry specifically.
No, I was in the Air Force and I flew over a bunch of wars. How's that?
Lordy. When or where?
Where?
2 tours in Korea, about 2.5 years in Korea, 7 years in Germany,
Okay, how long did you serve for? Like all
20 years.
What war did you serve in?
Desert Storm.
I served under 4 presidents.
Oh, really?
I served under Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon
Oh.
during my tour in my 20 years in service. And the only lasting effect that either one of them has affected me is my hearing. I've lost 60% of my hearing.
Oh, really?
And so I've got tinnitus in both ears, and I'm living with a ringing in both my ears. Yeah.
War is not fun. In most cases, it's not necessary. And when it is necessary, you need to fight it to win, not to be political.
It's a toss between, I turned 21 in Vietnam and Tet when they tried to overrun our supply base. Because it was a heavy duty. We were on a supply base up north. I hauled bombs, ammo, aviation fuel, and Agent Orange to the airstrip. Put it on the planes to bomb the North Vietnamese.
Back
I
during the war?
can't define it.
Really?
I mean, you go in, I put it this way, I went in as a hard-headed juvenile.
The military helps people to be more disciplined. I learned to be more disciplined. I learned about structure and about the necessity of doing certain things, the importance of things, and some things are life and death situations.
To get an education, it's a good place to learn to respect people and also to earn a vocation or you can do so many things in there.
Be all you can be. There's grow to the limit you can grow to. Whether you're in school here or reach for stuff, set goals, and figure out all the little pieces it takes to make that goal.
Well, thank you. So what would it be?
Keep your mouth shut. Do what you're told. Seriously.
Okay.
I don't know how it is today. I don't know, but when I was going through basic and in the early 80s, that's what you did. You did what you're told.
The basic advice I would give the students is to look again at the way you consider war. When you're young and you play a lot of video games and stuff, war seems like a fun thing. It is not. And hold your country accountable for what wars they get you into.
Talk to your parents and your grandparents. Find out what they have experienced, what they've learned. A lot of times grandparents have a lot of wisdom, and if you really stop and talk with them, they'll give you a lot of good advice.
Okay, my advice for students is, I thought that the military was the best thing for me at the time. I did not have any direction. I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I thought I wanted to do that, but I wanted to do that. Well, I really didn't know. But it did straighten me out and give me a course which to, not so much to follow, but it gave me this temperament to be able to understand what I wanted to do and follow through with it. I was just going all over the place. I didn't really care about anything. I didn't know it. And that just really kind of gave me some focus. And here's what you need to do. So.
Well, they obviously haven't gone through what we did. But there is a saying that says you never realize what you have until you lose it. What you have here is unique in that not everybody in the world has the freedoms that we have. And
Hello, Chieftains. I'm Principal Wright. My name is Jennifer Law. If you look at your principal and then you look back at me, we do resemble each other. Hi, Jamie. She's my big sister. I'm here today to talk to you about Veterans Day. I served from 1998. After my 18th birthday, I left to serve as a military police correctional officer, which means I worked in the military prisons. I was medically discharged in 2003, so I've been a vet for about 13 years. I just want to let you know that being a veteran is a big part of my life, and I'm very proud to be a veteran. And when I have somebody tell me Happy Veterans Day and thank you for your service, it really means a lot to me. This is me as a private a few years back, and I just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day and make sure you think of it. It doesn't matter what era, or even, you know, if it's somebody you don't know but you know that they're a vet. It means a lot to them. So get your homework done, stay in school, have a great day.